Hello my dear students, welcome back to our news analysis program. Today we shall be discussing the Hindu dated June 13. We shall straight away go to the program. I would like to remind you all that the Regional Rural Bank in Kerala, the Kerala Grameen Bank, has vacancies in both the clerical as well as officers cadre. All of you have to apply, and in those who are from other states also have to apply in their respective states, because and do not wait till the last moment. June 28 is the last date of submitting the application. Do not wait till the last moment and avoid the last minute rush and probable network congestion. So, we shall start. Very important, we have got two exams in hand now, the State Bank of India clerical, which of course has been postponed, and the newer date we all are expecting, and the RRB examination. Soon there will be notification by the IBPS for the probationary officer examination, which will be followed by the IBPS clerical exam. So, we have got plenty of exams to come, and the exam season has begun, so you have to start working hard. So, let us begin with the news analysis. Hindu dated June 13. Main news items: GST brought down on 14 COVID relief goods. This has been expecting and has been expecting for a long time now, and the new declassification policy gets nod. These are the two major news items of the Hindu. We shall discuss one by one. GST Council brought down COVID-19 relief goods. GST brought down on goods and services tax are brought down for COVID-19 relief materials. GST Council is the authority that decides. It is not just the central government or the state governments. Of course, there is a national GST in India from July 1, 2017. It is the fourth year of the implementation of GST in India. So, neither the central government nor the state governments can decide independently on the indirect taxes on commodities. It is decided by the Goods and Services Council, which meets every now and then. So, GST Council, that is called GST Council. GST Council decided to waive GST on two critical drugs for COVID and reset 5% for major 14 pandemic relief items till September 30. This is not a permanent relief. The relief is only for September 30. Ambulances will attract a GST of 12%. Earlier it was 28%. These are all unaffordable. Especially these sort of decisions must have come much earlier. Of course, the states and people have already spent a lot of money. Look, for ambulance it is 28% GST, and now the relief is that it is reduced to 12%. Non-BJP ruled states were seeking complete tax exemptions for COVID relief materials. In fact, this must have been permitted by the central government, because the society does not have money now. Last year in 2020, when the pandemic broke up, people had money. It was a supply problem. People had money because they had money that they had kept through their accumulated through their hard work of the previous years. But this year, mind you, we are facing the pandemic for the consecutive second year, so people don't have money. Many people have been sitting inside their homes and having no job to do, so they were not having money, and now it's a major demand driven problem. People do not have money. At this point of time, it would have been a great relief had, at least for COVID materials, the taxes have been exempted at least for a short period of time. Now the relief is only for September 30, and that is for the up to 5% relief, sorry, not up to 5% tax will be imposed for COVID relief materials up to September 13. It is a very justifiable relief, but government could have done, or GST Council could have done much better. New declassification rules policy gets note. What is this declassification? All government official secrets will be declassified by democracies after a specific period of time. If my memory is anything to go by, it is 20 years in the United States of America. All major decisions taken by the government, whatever decisions will it be, would be declassified, will be available for public information and knowledge after every 20 years. In India, the Union government approved a policy of archiving, declassification and compilation and publication of war and operational histories of Ministry of Defence. So, all war details, everything will be declassified and will be made available in the National Archives after 25 years. Records will be ordinarily declassified in 25 years, very important information. In 25 years, ordinarily, all so-called secret information will be declassified. Records older than 25 years should be appraised by the archival experts and transferred to National Archives of India. Where is it? It is in New Delhi. National Archives is in New Delhi. So, 25 years is the time period for declassifying official defense secrets. So, after 25 years, it will be available for us. So, whatever decisions that the government took 25 years ago will be made available now. I think it is clear. Shall I proceed? G7 leaders take on China, plan to stop new pandemics. So, G7 stands for Group of 7 Rich Nations. Which are they? USA, Canada from American continent, from the Asian continent it is Japan, and from the European continent, England, France, Germany and Italy. They are the richest nations of the world, 7 richest nations. They have recently, for the first time ever since 2019, the world leaders met in person in a place called Carbis in UK. So, G7 summit took place in England. G7 summit, G7 2021 summit took place in England. G7 unveiled US-led plans to counter China in infrastructure funding of poor nations and a new accord to prevent future pandemics. So, these are the two major decisions that G7 has taken. One, to counter China in infrastructure funding of poor nations. Listen, China is expanding its control over other countries by financing them. There are many poor nations which require funding, and look, China has been increasing its influence in Sri Lanka by providing huge funding to the island nation. They have recently started a kidney treatment hospital in Colombo, and a port is being developed. Look, and these poor nations at some point of time will find it very difficult to repay the debt. So, China is cleverly indebting these nations by providing huge finance to them. So, this is what the G7 countries want to arrest. So, they will have a counter plans to China's international aspirations. China is highly an aspirational, a country that has got huge aspirations and who has got a genuine international tendency to expand its territory. China is the only country in the world which has got land disputes with all its neighbors. Build Back Better World, very important, take note of it, B3W, Build Back Better World, B3, Build Back Better World, B3W project is announced by G7, aimed at competing with China's $1 trillion Belt and Road Initiative. This project was highly criticized by saddling countries with unimaginable debts. Listen, what is this Belt and Road Initiative? In your history textbooks, you would have read about the old Silk Route. It was during the 5th, 6th and 7th century that the navigation route or the trade started beginning through sea routes, or prominent sea routes were discovered during the 7th and 8th century. Before that, most of the international trade had been taking place through land route. We know about the gateway to Europe from Asia, the Constantinople in Turkey. So all the trade has been going through China, the eastern part of India. If this is India, the eastern part of India, this was a Silk Route. So through Silk Route, the world trade has been going through Silk Route. The transportation of goods from Asian countries were through the Silk Route, which prominently goes through China. But this Silk Route became almost defunct when the prominent sea routes were discovered, because the transportation is very cheap. Now, China, as a part of its policy to increase its influence across the world and in other countries, they had initiated a Belt and Road Initiative. Originally, India was also a part of it, but India at some point of time withdrew from the Belt and Road Initiative, because the Belt and Road Initiative goes through Balochistan. Balochistan is a part of Pakistan which India claims to be ours. Presently, it is under the control of Pakistan, which India claims to be ours. It is Pakistan's Kashmir. Pakistan says that Kashmir is a part of theirs. India believes that Balochistan is a part of India. So, India moved out of the Belt Road Initiative. This particular initiative was highly criticized for another reason. China would finance this particular project, and through this, it's a long-term plan of China to make these nations financially indebted to China. So China will grapple authority and power. You see, China is financing heavily to many African poor nations. Now, China is using its arm twisting measures even for politically. Sam says that my voice is echoing. Sam, I shall speak to my technical team. I do not know what can be done at this moment. Kindly bear, but I shall report the matter to our technical team and we will do the needful. Carbis Bay Declaration calls for steps to slash time taken to develop and license vaccines, treatments and diagnosis for any future diseases to under 100 days. Carbis Day Declaration calls for steps to slash time taken to develop and license vaccines, treatments and diagnosis for any future disease to under 100 days. Meaning within 100 days, vaccines will be given certification, license, and treatments will be given license, and diagnosis will be, new diagnosis systems will be given license within 100 days. These are the major decisions taken by the G7 leaders in the Carbis meeting, summit. Is this clear to all of you? Is the slide clear to you? A few people may please respond. Hello, I am awaiting your responses. before I move on to the next slide. Quickly. Okay, so I am proceeding. Sunish, thank you for your response. We shall move on. China's roaming jumbos are on the move again. This is a very interesting news that can you Henderson Brooks report, okay, can you speak about, could be, okay, I shall speak about it later, yeah, sure. See, listen, China's roaming jumbos are on the move again. China's famed wandering elephants are on the move again. Listen, this generally elephant herds move out of their territories maybe for short time and they would come back. But as against this general habit of the elephant herds, look at what has happened in China. More than a year ago, they moved out of their natural habitat, a wildlife reserve in the southwest of Yunnan province. They were in the southwestern province of Yunnan in China. That was their natural habitat. They moved out of the habitat and they started moving. They have not come back. Now they have trekked 500 kilometers north, and they are freely moving on to many townships and cities. They have made a lot of damage to agricultural properties, but fortunately there is no incident of loss of human lives. Environmentalists and wildlife enthusiasts are watching the behavior of the herd very closely. This is very much against their natural way of behaving. Generally, if they move out of their natural habitat, it would remain out of the habitat for only a very few days and would come back. But this particular herd of around 15 animals are differently behaving, and that is what the animal enthusiasts look at with curiosity. Okay. Revised subsidies to spur EV demand, electrical vehicles demand. FAME, please take note of this, faster adoption and manufacturing of electric vehicles, that is called FAME. It is India's electrical vehicles policy, FAME. Government decided to increase subsidies by 50%. For electric vehicles, government has decided to increase subsidies by 50%. Increased incentive for electric vehicles is increased from 10,000 to 15,000, that is what it is, 50%, including plug-in hybrids and strong hybrids except buses. So the country had planned for a huge steps in electrifying vehicles that ply on Indian roads. By 2030, India plans to increase the percentage of electric vehicles in India to 50%, meaning in 2030, 50% of the passenger cars that will be cars and bikes that will be used in India will be electrically driven, energized. So that's a great step to control pollution in the country. We have got commitment to the international community that we will take actions to control pollution and reduce emission of ozone depleting substances. Denmark's Eriksen taken to hospital after collapsing. A very tragic incident. You know that Euro 2020 is taking place in the year 2021 now. Euro 2020 was cancelled and is now taking place in Europe, in different locations in Europe, and now the news in question is that the Denmark midfielder Christian Eriksen collapsed during his game, Denmark's game against Finland. It is a very unfortunate incident. He's one of the he's played for Denmark in many international matches, but fortunately his life is saved, and it was a clear-cut show of the sportsmanship everywhere. The viewers, the players, the opposition team, medical team, and even the referee. When he was taken away from the field, the referee could have easily restarted the game, but he didn't do that. He gave value to human life, to the football encounters. So the match was restarted almost 2 hours later, when the good news of his recovery emanated from the hospital. Barbara Krejcikova is a new French Open women's champion. Very important, a new French Open champion, women's champion is born. She belongs to the Czech Republic, and she beat the Russian Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. So very important, you should know these names, very important for the exam. A new champion is born. Her first Grand Slam victory. This was her first Grand Slam victory. A new French Open men's champion. Of course, it's not new. The new champion will be, that name will be revealed tomorrow, because the news item came up today. We will be discussing that particular news tomorrow. Please take note of this. Barbara Krejcikova. Djokovic is the new French Open 2021 champion. Djokovic has been world champion for many years. We shall discuss about Djokovic tomorrow. So Barbara Krejcikova is a new French Open women's champion. Thank you very much, my dear students, for watching the program. Tomorrow we shall come again and we will have another news analysis. Tomorrow we shall be discussing today's newspaper, the Hindu, dated June 14. So please make sure that you all read and improve your interest of reading. That is the good quality reading shows the it's a good testimony to your liveliness. So ensure that you read the newspapers and remain really live, and make sure that your energy level is kept high all the time. We have got exams coming, we have got job well cut out. So ensure that all of you work, and we shall meet again at 3 o'clock with another session of either QA, English or Math. Thank you very much. Have a good day ahead of you and a very happy week ahead of you. Goodbye.